Okay, so today's video is going to start a little bit differently because it is Mrs. Stix's birthday in just a few days from today, and we're going to be holding a birthday celebration stream over on our Twitch channel. The link to the Twitch channel will be on the screen right now, and we would love for you guys to come on over and join us as part of that celebration. The birthday stream will be at around 3:30, maybe 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll also have times up here converted to various different areas around the world, but the stream is going to take place approximately 4 hours from when this video is published, when it goes live. And again, I would love for all of you to be there to come on over and wish her a happy birthday, but don't feel like you're obligated to. Now, it has been a very busy month. There have been lots of new announcements. There have been plenty of new reveals, more than I had actually anticipated seeing. And I am more than happy to, right now, take a few minutes of your guys' time, sit down here and kind of consolidate it all for you. Before we go any further though, like always, I'm going to be giving away a free copy of any MMORPG you guys want. Final Fantasy XIV, The Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft, Swords of Legends Online. Maybe you guys want one of those new Founders Packs for Lost Ark. All you have to do to participate is make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because I can tell if you are not. And this giveaway, like all giveaways, is only available to our subscribed viewers. And then go down into the comment section below and leave a comment stating what your most anticipated MMO is of 2021. It's that simple. I will choose a winner and then announce it in the next Weekly Bite of MMORPG news video. The winner of the last giveaway is Denelson Jr. Go ahead and DM me on Discord or via Twitter and come and redeem your game. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Weekly Bite of MMORPG news. Now, let's start this off with what is perhaps the most important news announcement of the last few weeks. Amazon Game Studios have revealed that not only is Lost Ark on track for a release this year, they are mostly done with the localization of the game. They've made several alterations to make the game feel more inclusive to Western players, with the introduction of additional skin colors, changing the ethnicity of a plethora of different NPCs found throughout the game, so they're no longer the ethnicity that the game was intended to have, and are making alterations to the story to fit a Western audience. They just finished their alpha test recently and are already scheduled to be moving into their beta test phase within the next month or two, with a release plan for somewhere between October through December 2021. Now, there is some drama going around concerning the IP blocking of a lot of the world, and I did go ahead here and do a dedicated video on that if you're interested in listening to it and verifying whether or not you're capable of accessing the game after the test phases. And while there are some things missing from the game, such as the Arcana class, the class that I actually play in main here, and there are still some localization issues present within the game, it is very much coming along nicely. Much like WoW Classic, Lineage 2 Classic, and all the other classic incarnations of MMOs releasing lately, Aion Classic is a re-release of a once popular MMORPG before it went downhill and fell into, obscurity here is not a term that I wouldn't use to describe Aion in its current state. The release date is scheduled for June 23rd, with Founders Packs being available right now for players that are interested in purchasing them. Aion Classic is going to have a subscription fee present, but will be playable for free players as well, with severe limitations being imposed that will likely prevent you from ever playing competitively, especially given the 50% reduction in XP compared to the subscription service. But I will note here, since I'm sure some people are going to complain about this, but you do get 1 hour worth of the premium subscription every single day. Aion Classic has performed exceptionally well within South Korea over the course of its release, and will likely do well over here in the West as well, given how fondly players seem to reminisce over it. Palworld is perhaps the most bizarre game that I have seen in recent memory. It's developed by the very same people behind Craftopia, a popular anime-inspired survival game that both Mrs. Stix and I genuinely had a lot of fun in. Much like Craftopia, Palworld is a cooperative survival game with an anime aesthetic that offers much of what Craftopia did, a deep crafting system, survival mechanics, but with an actual narrative and unique features. Features such as capturing Pal, this world's version of Pokemon, and putting them to use in factories, constructing your buildings, or crafting your items, or heck, even powering your home, even using them as shields in combat, as watering pots, you name it, and it is probably present within the game. And that is what makes this such a bizarre title to me, but simultaneously, one of my most anticipated games of 2022. Tower of Fantasy has revealed their latest changes to the entire UI for the game, opting to go a little more science fiction inspired. Honestly, I didn't really feel the need for a change as drastic as the entire alteration of the UI, as I felt like the last change made it really feel sleek enough, I guess, but apparently they were not happy with that. Additionally, they revealed a brand new minute-long trailer for the game, showcasing new characters you'll find within the game and a deeper look at some of the overhauled combat and weapon styles. We also get shown a variety of new areas in the form of screenshots, and man, this game is looking absolutely gorgeous. I recently covered the brand new Digimon Super Rumble MMORPG. It was just announced a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, by this point, I've covered this game twice now. It's a brand new anime MMO set within the Digimon Adventure narrative. So if you're a fan of the old Digimon Adventure anime series, you'll probably love this. But a week after doing my dedicated video, the developers came out and announced that they were going into closed beta testing, and pre-registration is currently live, meaning that you can sign up for the beta test and play, as they have no IP restrictions in place, at least for right now. PSO2 New Genesis launched just last week to a lot of anticipation. This is an MMO that we have all been eagerly looking forward to for over a year now, and it is a direct continuation of the PSO2 IP. Naturally, expectations were very high, and ultimately those very expectations were not met, unfortunately. While New Genesis, from what I've experienced in the hours playing through it, has been a lot of fun, it hasn't been without its complications. Rather, the server instability resulting in intense lag spikes, leaving you locked in place for well over 30 seconds at a time, and the lack of endgame content have reduced the population of the game by over half, I think, in the week that it's been online. Although they did note that we have content coming in the very near future, and new content every 2 months after that, once the server stabilizes, which really should not be a problem, given they've been running PSO2 for over a year now in the West. I feel like this will be a very solid release. Albion Online launched on mobile devices last week, and let me be the first to congratulate the developers on a job well done. Not only is it a mobile MMO that players genuinely wanted, as this isn't just some cheap spin-off or reimagining on mobile devices, rather, it's a fully functional addition to an already highly popular game. Players seem to feel more or less the same, as Albion Online has reached new heights year after year, this mobile port in specific allowing for players to log in on either platform and play. Player numbers have peaked up to 270,000 daily active players, a number that most MMO in this day and age fail to come remotely close to achieving. It might be safe to assume at this point that this has become even more popular than RuneScape and is easily one of the 5 most played MMORPGs on the market right now. Again, congratulations are in order. For players anticipating the upcoming Elyon MMORPG, I've got news that might interest you. In a recent live stream from the team behind the game, it was confirmed that they're entering into closed beta 2 during August. There are going to be changes made, there are going to be additions included, but most importantly, they're opening up pre-orders for the game. Pre-orders are going to guarantee players access to the second beta test, but if all goes according to plan, we will have extra keys to give out if you guys need to get your hands on one. They confirmed during their first closed beta test that we'd have more than 500 to give away, much like the first beta test, so be on the lookout for those keys. Earlier this week, The Elder Scrolls Online rolled out the console enhanced patch for the game, bringing with it 2 new game modes, performance and fidelity. When playing the game in fidelity mode, you'll have native 4K compatibility, enhanced light reflections, more detail, faster loading, changes that the console version of ESO needed to truly stand out. The patch rolled out on Xbox and PlayStation, with the PlayStation having issues, something that ESO players are no stranger to witnessing. They also touched on The Elder Scrolls Online 2, since for whatever reason here, even with the player base still being fairly active within the game in its current form, they want a sequel to the title, which would in essence kill this incarnation of the game. They confirmed that while it was definitely a thought, or at least it has been, it is far from being a reality. If you didn't watch the deep dive I did into the entire Bless IP just a few days ago, then I urge you to go and take a look at that now. It touches on the entire history of Bless as Bless Online, as Bless Mobile, and Bless Unleashed. because I know that there are still plenty of you out there that have no idea what Bless and what Neowiz did wrong, and why Bless Unleashed is so hated, with it not having even released onto PC yet. That video should provide you with an overlook for the game that you most definitely need should you ever want to jump into the game after it launches. Speaking of, Neowiz announced that Bless Unleashed will be launching onto PC via Steam on August 6th, a month and a half from now. The game is currently holding a pre-registration event for PC players interested in trying the game out and getting some unique goodies ahead of the game's launch. I was linked to an article on Massively OP earlier this morning that went over some news pertaining to Palia, the upcoming MMO that has recently taken the internet by storm. On the one hand, it is evident that the upcoming pre-alpha has still not started. Everyone that is actively paying attention to the game is aware of that. But it is the additional information here that is very interesting to me. They confirmed that this will be launching cross-platform onto consoles in the future alongside the PC iteration of the game, with the pre-alpha being exclusively to PC. Clothing and hair won't be gender-locked, providing ample freedom to look and dress your character how you want. The trailer that was released earlier this month was filmed entirely in-game, but most importantly, they are not talking about the monetization of the game, going on to state that they are definitely not doing crowdfunding at this time. Yeah, at this time being the keyword used here. Now, while this is in no way indicative of their intention of opening crowdfunding in the future, it's worth noting that it is definitely something that they might consider. The upcoming pre-alpha will also be under an NDA, so be careful if you want to share anything from that game. Players thought Closers Online would die after En Masse Entertainment shut down and gave publishing rights back to the developer. However, that is far from the reality of things, as while Closers has retained an active player base over the last few months, they've also rolled out various updates for the game, including the most recent update introducing a brand new character, Yuna, into the game. There's an event running through the 23rd as well for players that are interested in getting a unique costume and some sweet goodies. And finally, while nobody believes that this will be a success at this point, Crowfall, the MMO that has been in development for longer than it probably should have been, is finally launching on July 6, 2021, just a few weeks from now. There's a beta running until June 23rd for players that want to test the game out in anticipation of its launch, but other than that, it's time to just sit patiently and await the inevitable rollout in just a couple weeks. After years of waiting, you guys that back this game will finally be able to play it in all its glory, whether that be good or bad. And that is it. That is all of the MMO related news that has been brought to my attention over the course of the last 2 weeks. If you think of anything that I missed, go ahead and DM me either on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or Discord and include the link to the article, and if applicable, I will go ahead and include it in the next weekly bite of MMORPG news video, or I'll go ahead and do a dedicated video on it.
Someday soon I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna